In the Cath Lab, every day we see patients for angioplasty procedures and angiogram procedures. It's very busy.
Historically, we've been booking 12 patients in the Cath Lab on any given day, allocating 1 hour per patient. And it may seem obvious, but not all cases take the same length of time. So, for example, today I'm going to be performing a complex angioplasty procedure that will take at least 90 minutes, probably closer to 120 minutes. Historically, we would have booked just an hour for this patient, and inevitably this would have led to a cancellation later in the day.
When we actually look back at our data for the past year, there was only 13 days when we actually did 12 patients in one day. So every day we were sending people home.
Personally, I find that very stressful. There are times when a procedure becomes more complicated, or you know it's a more difficult procedure, and you look over the shoulder and you see the board and you see that there's still 10 patients waiting, and you know that there's no way you're going to be able to get to all of them.
Probably the worst part of all our jobs here, especially if they come in at 7:30 in the morning and then at 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're then having to tell them, I'm really sorry, but we're not going to get to your test today.
The Cath Lab team has created a visual scheduling grid. They're using that grid to determine what time the patient actually comes in, what time have we seen the patient, how long does the procedure take, so that they can track that over time.
The grid helps us accomplish our goal because what we have is we have time scheduled for each patient, and what we're doing is we're tracking this on a board in the actual procedure room. So the time the procedure started, and we can check and see if we're continuing on within that time, if we've gone past that time, and what we can do to make up that time between cases. I know the CCU patient's not down here, so we'll just pick up that patient whenever we're able to.
Every day the Cath Lab team gets together at about 7 a.m. and around 3 o'clock. They look at the grid as a team, they talk about their day.
Today we have 10 patients on the schedule, and instead of it being hour slots for every patient, based on procedures, there's specific times given to those procedures, including a turnaround time, and we did time studies on all this so we can kind of schedule the right time for the right procedure.
Data doesn't lie, so the data will tell the team what's working and what's not working. And the concept is, if you're going to implement something, we have data, we can actually implement something, we can study it, but then loop back to that data to see whether or not things have gotten better. And it's not a one-time thing. The team will be meeting over and over and over again to take that data, tweak things, make it a little bit better.
So hopefully with the new grid we're going to be able to offer patients a more realistic expectation of when the procedure is actually going to start, how long it's going to take, and hopefully that'll translate to less cancellations and just a more enjoyable work environment for everybody.